wondering what time it is for themselves. I called a friend of mine. I've been good friends with her for over 20 years. What I mean by that is going from being someone that thinks that they're gay, a gay male, to who I am today. I don't open up to a whole lot of people. I keep myself pretty private. I had always wondered when I was going to have my surgery, or if I was going to have my surgery, and blah blah blah, all that, those tormenting or turmoil feelings that you have, or thoughts in your head. Within the next 2 years, today is February 26th, Saturday, I'm setting a goal for myself for within the next 2 years, but at least by February 24, I will have already had my surgery. And you know who you are. Thank you. I got the ball rolling. I talked to my new doctor in Madison about the plastic surgeon that takes care of women's concerns. I mentioned to her that I am interested in taking the next step. I would like to see what's involved in having my bottom surgery. I am scared because of the fact that, number one, it's still surgery. There can be a lot of complications. There can be a lot of things going wrong. I know it's time. I have literally grown comfortable in my surroundings and in my area. I've gone from being a gay male to a trans female, and I've had nothing, in the transition from that to that, I had nothing but hatred, garbage, verbally, physically. It's not as bad physically, but more verbally. She told me she'd refer me to the clinic that takes care of gender service. Been more effeminate when I was doing drag. I was never literally doing drag. I was being Kelly. And from the moment that I had to take off my makeup from stage, I was a natural on stage. When I had to take that makeup off, I knew that was the lie. I tried to play as being a male, and it's very hard. It's, people were around me like saying, well, why can't you do this? Why can't you do this? Why is your voice so high? I had a boyfriend once upon a time. He says, well, why don't you take testosterone so your voice drops? No, if anything, I told him, I said, if anything, I would take hormone therapy or estrogen so that I become more feminine, because I was already feminine enough. So I just needed to take the next step. I took a lot of courage, a lot of willpower, the foresight to literally walk that road. And oh my gosh, after what was it, a few months or so, oh my god, yeah, I was getting the hot flashes big time, because you go through a second puberty when you start taking your hormone therapy. So happy that I did that, because when you're male going into becoming female, when you're transitioning from that, you have a very small libido, sex drive. So 2 months later, it was already June. The ice cold water, I usually had a jug like this behind me at work, how I was feeling, because I was burning up inside. Really. What was it, 2005? Yeah, 2005 to 2013, I was going in and out of relationship. Yeah, I have, but I don't have the finances to do it. So here I am, years later, ready. It's time. I told my friend last night over Facebook Messenger, I think it was. No, texting her. The same friend I was telling you about. I was telling her it's time. It's for transgender health. See what I have to do. I think I know I need I believe I need 2 letters from therapists. So I'm hoping that the people down in Madison can refer me to. I really don't want to go to Madison to have my therapy, because it's like, gee, it's a good 2.5 drive one way to begin with, because it's 150 miles from Wausau. Either way, I digress. If it has to be done, it has to be done, right? Then the consultation with the surgeon, and then most likely the deposit with them, and have them clear me for surgery. And then after that, most likely set a date. But it's definitely going to be a part of my life. a part of my transition in life.
Good morning, everybody. I wanted to let you know I got I finally got an actual email from the counseling service, that one of two counseling services that I right now I'm going with. We'll see how it turns out, but I need 2 letters of recommendation for my surgery, 2 mental health letters for recommendation for my surgery. So I'm getting closer and closer. I would, I did this on Sunday. Monday I was looking for it. Tuesday I was looking for it. And then this morning I woke up and I checked my little computer. Well, it's getting charged now, but I checked my little computer, and guess what? They actually found a counselor for me for, going from your assigned gender when you're born, to living. Back when I started doing this, it was gender reassignment surgery. There's so many gosh darn labels for it. The sex change, the gender reassignment surgery, gender confirmation surgery, and the list will go on and on. So I understand again why I had to do the counseling to be put on the hormone therapy. I understand that completely. And a part of me understands why I need to do the therapy for gender confirmation surgery, because once it's done, it's done. But the other part I don't understand is that, I've lived as my ideal person, that who I believe I am, and I know I am, 2 decades, almost 20 years now. My experience was when I first started with my therapist. Well, I had 2 therapists. One was a crack of garbage, because when I went to my other therapist, she was telling me they did a crapshoot. They sent me one frickin' piece of paper on you. Yeah, well, if it's okay with you, can we start from scratch? Yeah, why not? Because there are some therapists out there that are garbage. Be careful for who you get for your therapist or therapists, to be your authentic self. Number 1. And number 2, going into it, your true self for a good year. I know I'm ready. At 6 o'clock tonight to meet my new therapist. Well, guys, I just got my first, more or less, one of the nurses down in Madison called me just now from the Gender Services Clinic or the hospital. I'm so excited. Oh, I can barely stand it. Oh my God. It's like my biggest dream is coming to fruition. For anyone that goes through what trans women or trans men go through on a daily basis, of affirming your identity versus legal, medical, and social acceptance, it's a bitch sometimes. I'll be honest with you. It's a bitch. Oh my God. Am I ever excited? I'm beyond excited. I'm just floored. I'm on cloud 9. However the saying goes, I'm on cloud 9. Before my mother passed away, a lot of, things were coming to the forefront. And it's like, well, my mother was always telling me, well, Kel, you're gonna feel more complete having that surgery down there done. The truth is, yes, I will. And at times it's like, well, gee, is it going to get done? Is it going to get done? Is it going to get done? Not only that, but I was having dreams already of having my, nothing down there except what should be down there, for myself, that is, to eventually. So yeah, I'm just beyond myself. I really am. I've been praying about it. I've been talking to my mother about it. She had passed away back in November of 19, if you didn't know. If you know my channel. Granted, yeah, I am scared. I'm scared, but I know I need to have it done. I wanted to let you know that, last night it just, oh shit, I didn't put my carrots back in the fridge. Addition to that, I am scared, but I'm very, very happy. Last night I was beyond cloud 9. Previously for my former therapist, before I started my hormone therapy, but all in all, it's I hate to say, but it's black and white. When did you first realize? How long did you know? What was your life like? This. All these black and white questions. I figured it out last night on a calculator. Because this is 2022, right? And I started transitioning, or actually, no, not even transitioning. I started my hormone therapy in 2004. So I consider 2004, April of 2004. I believe it was the 4th. I believe it was the 4th, April 4th, 2004. Maybe I'm wrong because I no longer have that calendar. So I figured it out. Next month I will be 18 years old in hormone therapy land. And at that time, I was seeing my doctor, I think on Mondays. Yeah. I had a new lease on life. I could be myself. And now I'm taking my next step further and continuing being myself. My only regret is my mother not being around. I just heard, yes, I am. I just heard, I am so proud of you. Thank you, mother. I love you too. I miss you. No, I'm not crazy. But you know what I mean. You know, if you have a close relationship with your dearly departed, they may come to you. Just like I told my counselor, I says, you know, the semantics have changed over the years. Before, I never thought of being transgender. I'm like, what the hell is transgender? So yeah, I went from transsexual to just trans to transgender, or you know, having that trans part of it. I've never been a tranny. Don't ever call me that. Or a chick with a dick. That's porn crap. But in real life, that I don't consider, you know, porn real life. I consider real life real life. Yesterday, I actually spoke with the nurse in Madison, the RN nurse for gender services. And yeah, fortunately, I need 2 letters from therapists. Good girl. So yeah, she was talking to me about 2 different types of vaginoplasty. One happens to be a 0 depth vaginoplasty, less risk, and especially if they have any other health conditions. And then the nurse yesterday, she told me, she said, you can, one of 2, but if you're looking for doing the penile inversion portion of it, we have, I'll send you the information of the laser specialist that would take care of this. If you don't want the penile inversion, if you want the other procedure, which happens to be the 0 depth procedure, you don't have to have any hair removal. Good morning, everybody. I wanted to give you guys an update. As of Sunday, the 8th of March, is writing me a letter of readiness for my surgery, or at least to begin with my consult. And then I'm in touch with a therapist in Milwaukee, and they asked me what I need, if I need just the letter or the therapy. And I said, well, honestly, I just need the letter right now. I really do. Because number one, I need that in order to have the consultation. And then following that would be most likely the scheduling of the surgery. Most likely a down payment, whatever the criteria is. I also booked an appointment with for laser hair removal on the regions that I need for the surgery. And I have ultimately decided to go for a penile inversion vaginoplasty. After looking at, so next Thursday I have my first appointment for laser hair removal. I'm hoping I don't blister. And she says, oh no, you won't blister. It's gonna be like a rubber band. Yesterday I had a meeting with the director of where I work. She told me a few things. Basically, I got a pay raise, and that's when I told her. And she thought the opposite. And I was like, oh, if anything, I thought you were going to go from female to male. And I said, no. She says, I would have never blocked you, or I would have never, I never, I says, I know. I pass, I work. And I told her, I said, that's one thing I really like about working where I work. I work in a place, even though I work remote, and I hope I continue to work remote. I want to continue. That's, the place that I work is LGBTQIA friendly. Hear it in my ears. Didn't you hang your favorite yet? Didn't you hang your favorite yet? Doesn't fucking matter. Will eventually have my surgery. Yes. I wanted to mention that to you guys because number one, I hate that fucking question. Hang your surgery yet? Shut the fuck up. Why do you want to know? Gee, have you had any surgery on your vagina? Have you had any surgery on your penis? Oh, why? Why are you asking me? I'm curious. Well, I'm curious why you're curious. I'm curious if you had any surgery on your fucking penis. I don't want you to take that badly. How do you expect me to take it when you're asking me a very, very private question? Number one. Number two, it's none of your fucking business. If I'm not sleeping with you, it's none of your damn business. You would find out, wouldn't you? And you would find out whether I have a penis or a vagina. Well, I'm not attracted to a man. First of all, I'm not a man. I'm not attracted to an it. Second of all, I'm not an it. I am a human being. There's actual flesh. There's blood running down my veins. Okay? I'm not attracted to a she-male. I'm not a she-male either. That's what porn obviously denigrated who we are as a society. So when you're doing this big time, and you're doing it to people like me. Oh, good morning, everybody. So I've been in communication with a therapy center down in Milwaukee, and the one co-director told me that they'd get back to me within the week. So, with it by next Wednesday, and that was Monday, right? I've been in constant communication with the other director, and the other director asked me a couple things. Do I mind an intern shadowing to learn how to write the letter of readiness for my bottom surgery? I said, no, I don't mind at all. I don't mind. I mean, if you want to bring a group, I don't really care at this point. She's going to be sending me the paperwork, assuming by today, so that I could fill it out for Monday's session. The surgeon in Madison, their criteria is for that. And then once that's done and completed, then I'll be going for, I'll get on the books for a consultation in Madison, which will be in December. And I'm like, oh shit, really? We got 6 months to wait. Will be shorter time span between that and the actual surgery. I'm kind of hoping it is. I have all of this criteria for a bowel prep for a penile inversion vaginoplasty. 4 Dulcolax laxative tablets that contain 5 milligrams of bisacodyl, 1 8.3 ounce bottle of Miralax, 64 ounces of clear liquid Gatorade. 3 weeks prior to having the surgery, you have to I'll be stopping taking my estrogen. I take that every day. So anyway, that's what I had for you guys. I'm excited. I'm happy. It's not technically the final step in my life, but it's technically the final step of my journey, because I started, it took me 6 months to transition, because it was in April when we did turnabout. April, so May, June, July, August, September, because then in November, I had my legal name changed. So then from that point on, from November 19th, I was in counseling for gender dysphoria, and I was seeing a therapist down in Milwaukee. And from that point on, after I had my legal name change and I went to the Social Security Administration building, and I tried, and I had my name changed on my Social Security card. They're like, well, we can't change anything else until you actually have the surgery. Following that, I went to the DMV. Don't ever, ever have that experience. And they're like, well, we can't do it until you have the surgery. And it's like, you can fucking change my first and middle name. I have a legal document saying that you can change that. Well, we can't change your gender marker. So I went to my therapist and we're like, well, why don't you try it in Madison? You may be able to have it easier with Madison. Let be told, I did. I went down to Madison the next time I went for my therapy. I did. And then from that point on, she graduated me from therapy and gave me a referral to see the new doctor. And my God, my doctor, he's a young guy. He's cute. I mean, but anyway, I'm not gorgeous, anyway, but so he's practical. So I had been seeing him for a number of years, and that's like every so often guy. I had people ask me, "Have you had your surgery?" Including medical professionals. Have you had your surgery? Are you thinking about your surgery? Are you going to do your surgery? When I have finances. When I have finances. That was always the answer. When I have the finances, and just this year alone, after everything happened, including the pandemic, I decided ultimately it's time. I don't wish that experience on anybody. I do not. Whether it's male to female or female to male, it does not matter. I don't wish that experience on anybody. But you have to do it. You have to do it. You do, unless you want to live a life where you're one gender or one identity. That's a better word for it. One identity at work and one identity in your personal life. That's up to you. But as soon as I got my license, April of 2005, that's not going to work for me. So I did it myself. I transitioned at work before I put on hormone therapy, and it didn't do. I mean, before I went on hormone therapy, it wasn't much. It was like night and day for me. I cut my bangs to cover up my forehead. This is what I look like without bangs, really. So yeah, after I started taking hormone therapy, I'm like, and then people that I was working with had a hard time calling me by my female name. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Cal. I don't fucking care anymore. I don't care. Just like having to, the idea of changing my ID back to being male because I haven't had my bottom surgery yet. It's like, you know what? Whatever. I don't fucking care. They call me Mr. Like, oh, excuse me. Dude, really? Really? I mean, seriously. Seriously. The medical community, the medical language really needs to upgrade their, seriously, for people that, for LGBTQI plus community, need to update their information. Number one. And number two, come on. It's the 21st century. Number two. Okay? So, and then when I go for my mammograms, when's the last time you had a period? I don't get a period. I happen to be trans. Right now, I happen to be preoperative trans. What does that mean? That means I was born a male. I have not had my bottom surgery where they make it into a vagina, and I have a penis yet. I've been taking hormone therapy, which happened to be estrogen, and T blocker, which is called spironolactone or aldactone, whichever you prefer, generic or the pricier term. Just point being is that I do not have a vagina, whether it be a vaginoplasty or a natural born vagina. I have a penis, but I have mammary glands, I have breasts, and I am trans. I've never had a period. I mean, this is like an anomaly. Have any trans feminine or trans females go through this crap, and have to every single year now. It's been like this. It's only been 2 years in a row. It's like, well, you don't get periods.
Just had my therapy session. I'm one step closer to my consult in Madison for my surgery. Thursday, I will be going to have my laser hair removal on parts of my scrotum on the bottom of my penile shaft. Closer, closer, closer. And then as I told you before, I talked to the director where I work. The company that I work for is very LGBTQ friendly. So, thank you. 20 years ago, it wasn't like that. No, not at all. But now, I'm in good hands. Just like I told the therapist. I told her, I feel like I'm in good hands. Oh, my baby. My baby. My baby. My baby. Yeah. Oh, you want up? You want up? Oh, my goodness, kid. You are a big mama. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Look, this is my baby. I love my kiddo. You know that? Yes. I mean, I was telling the therapist on how I feel. And it's been so many years. So many years have come and gone. Literally. Oh. Yes. Yes. Look at that face. Look at that face. Oh, my baby. My baby. Yeah, mother baby. She wants to be a part of it, doesn't she? Yes, she do. Look at that. Look at that. So, yeah, that was the good news.